Ever placed your trust in someone, only to feel the sting of betrayal later? It cuts deep, doesn't it? The harsh reality is, N of everyone who greets you with warmth has your best interests at heart. Some hide their true motives behind a mask of kindness, weaving webs of deceit, envy, or control. If you're not vigilant, they can unravel your peace bit by bit. In this video, we'll unmask 9 types of people you should never trust, no matter how close they seem, rooted in Stoic wisdom. This isn't about shutting others out, it's about guarding your inner strength. Ready to rethink who you let in? Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's dive into this eye-opening journey together. 1. The gossip. Now, let's dive into our third segment, where we spotlight a type of person you should never fully trust: the gossip. These folks have a gift for spinning stories about others, sharing secrets with a gleam in their eye that feels thrilling at first. Their hushed tones and juicy tidbits can draw you in, making you feel like you're part of an inner circle. But beware, this excitement comes at a cost, as their words often hide a trail of broken trust. Gossips don't always seem harmful. They might be the life of the party, charming everyone with their tales. Yet, their stories aren't just harmless chatter. They're a form of betrayal dressed up as fun. The same person who eagerly shares someone else's private struggles will likely share yours too, passing your confidences around like a game of telephone. It's not about connection, it's about power. A fleeting boost they get from being the one in the know. I recall a time in a close-knit community where one person seemed to know everything about everyone. She was always at gatherings, her smile warm and her ears open. If someone had a fight or faced a setback, she'd whisper it to others with a concerned frown, acting like she cared. Once, I shared a small worry with her, thinking it would stay between us. Within days, my words had spread, twisted into something I barely recognized. The sting of that betrayal taught me a hard lesson. A gossip's loyalty is as fleeting as their stories. Why do they do it? Often, it's not malice, but insecurity. Gossips crave attention, using others' secrets to feel important or to fill a void in their own lives. They sidestep their own issues by focusing on everyone else's drama, but this habit creates a cycle of mistrust, hurting relationships and leaving you feeling exposed. Stoic wisdom helps us navigate this trap. Epictetus urged us to speak only what we'd say to someone's face, a rule that exposes a gossip's dishonesty. When you hear them spill someone else's secrets, know that your own could be next. Their words aren't a bond, they're a warning. Protecting yourself means being mindful of what you share and with whom. So, how do you handle a gossip? You don't need to confront them or cause a scene. Instead, practice quiet discipline. If they start dishing dirt, steer the conversation elsewhere. If that doesn't work, step away politely. Guard your own words like treasures, sharing them only with those who value trust. Stoicism teaches us to preserve our peace by controlling what we let into our minds. And that includes the clutter of gossip. This isn't about being distant. It's about choosing connections that honor your dignity. A gossip's stories might sparkle for a moment, but they fade into chaos. By choosing silence over slander, you build a life rooted in respect for yourself and others. As Marcus Aurelius might say, focus on your own path, not the noise of others' words. Stay with us as we uncover more types of people to watch out for. And let's keep forging a path of clarity and strength together. 2. The manipulative individual. Kicking off our journey. Let's shine a spotlight on a type of person you should never fully trust: the manipulator. They don't show up with a sinister grin or obvious red flags. Instead, they slip into your life with warm smiles, kind words, and a knack for making you feel understood. At first, they're your biggest fan, always ready with a compliment or a thoughtful gesture. But beneath that charm lies a sharp mind, always scheming, always calculating. Manipulators are like skilled artists, painting a picture of care while pulling invisible strings. Their kindness isn't free, it's a tool to steer you. One moment, they're boosting you with praise. The next, they're planting seeds of doubt, making you question your own instincts. Before you know it, you're apologizing for things you didn't do, tangled in a web of guilt and confusion. That's their game control, not connection. I once knew someone who got caught in a manipulator's trap. A new friend seemed perfect, attentive, encouraging, always there, with a listening ear. But over time, that support turned sour. The friend started twisting private conversations, using shared secrets to spark guilt or shame. My acquaintance felt like they were shrinking, constantly adjusting their actions to avoid upsetting this person. It was a slow drain, sapping their confidence drop by drop. What makes manipulators so tricky? They thrive on ambiguity, blurring lines and bending truth to fit their needs. You might hear them praise someone one day, only to tear them down the next. Take note, that's a preview of how they'll treat you when it suits them. Their tools, like gaslighting or guilt-tripping, are designed to keep you off balance, always second-guessing. Stoic wisdom lights the way out. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our responses. Start by spotting the signs. Do you feel drained after talking to someone? Are you always explaining yourself or dodging guilt? These are clues a manipulator's at work. To break free, set clear boundaries. Share your heart only with those who've earned it. If needed, step back, not to punish, but to protect your peace. This isn't about mistrust, it's about discernment. Trust is a gift, meant for those who nurture your growth, not stunt it. Epictetus would urge you to stand firm, letting clarity guide your steps. When you stop playing the manipulator's game, you reclaim your strength, building a life where your spirit shines free. We're just getting started. So stay with us as we uncover more types to watch for. Let's keep forging a path of resilience together. 3. The fair weather friend. Let's move to our fourth segment, shining a light on a type of person you should be wary of: the fair weather friend. These folks are all smiles when life is good, cheering your victories and joining your celebrations with infectious energy. They're the ones clapping loudest at your successes, always ready for a good time. But when storm clouds gather, when you face loss, failure, or heartache, they vanish like mist, leaving you to weather the tough times alone. Fair weather friends are easy to like. Their charm and enthusiasm make them seem like true allies. Especially when everything's going your way, they show up for the parties, laugh at your jokes, and bask in your glow. But the moment life gets heavy, Their absence speaks louder than their earlier presence. No calls. No messages. Just silence when you need support the most. It's not cruelty, it's a lack of depth. A friendship tied to convenience rather than commitment. I saw this play out with a friend who was always surrounded by a lively crew during her career highs. She'd host dinners, and her so-called pals were there, toasting her achievements. But when she hit a rough patch, losing her job and grappling with self-doubt, those same faces faded away. The group chats went quiet, and invitations dried up. It was a painful wake-up call. Their loyalty was only as strong as her good fortune. What drives this behavior? Often, it's an aversion to discomfort. Fair-weather friends shy away from the messiness of struggle. Lacking the emotional strength to stand by you in tough times, they're drawn to your light but retreat when shadows fall, prioritizing their own ease over your needs. It's not about malice. It's about their inability to handle anything beyond surface-level connection. Stoic philosophy offers clarity here. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to find strength within, not in the fleeting presence of others. Your peace shouldn't hinge on who shows up, but on your own resilience. Fair-weather friends teach us to be discerning, to save our trust for those who stay through the highs and lows. It's okay to enjoy their company in good times, but don't mistake their cheers for true loyalty. Spotting these friends means noticing patterns. Are they only around when life is easy? Do they pull back when you need more than a quick chat? These signs reveal their limits. To protect yourself, set boundaries. Share your deepest self with those who've earned it through consistency, not just charisma. Stoicism calls us to focus on what we control: our choices, our values, and let go of chasing unreliable allies. This isn't about cutting people off. It's about cherishing those who show up when it counts. True friends don't just shine in your spotlight. They hold your hand in the dark. As Epictetus might say, build your life on virtue, not on the whims of others. By choosing connections that endure, you create a circle that strengthens, not weakens, your spirit. Stick with us as we explore more types of people to watch for. And let's keep building a life of wisdom and resilience together. 4. The Perpetual Critic. Let's move to our second segment, focusing on a type of person to keep at a distance: the constant critic. These folks have a sharp eye for flaws, always ready to point out what's wrong with your ideas, achievements, or even your style. Their comments, often wrapped in a helpful tone, hit like tiny darts, eroding your confidence over time. You might start doubting yourself, their voice echoing in your mind. Constant critics don't always seem harsh. They might smile as they critique, acting like they're just offering wisdom. But their words aren't meant to lift you up, they're meant to keep you small. Share a win, and they'll find a way to poke holes in it. Over time, you may internalize their negativity, mistaking it for truth. I once worked with someone who faced this. A senior colleague would review our team's work, always finding fault. New ideas were dismissed with a smirk and a comment about how things used to be done. At first, it felt like tough love, but it became clear her critiques were about control, not growth. She needed to feel superior, even if it meant dimming others. What drives this? Often, it's insecurity. Critics project their fears, using judgment to mask their doubts. Your progress threatens them, so they nitpick to stay on top. Stoic philosophy helps us here. Epictetus reminds us that others' opinions don't define us. Our response does. You don't have to let their words take root. Spotting a critic is key. Do their comments drain you? Do they rarely celebrate your successes without a but? These are signs. Protect yourself with boundaries. Listen to feedback. But ask, is this helping me grow? Or just pulling me down? If it's the latter, let it go. Your worth comes from within, not their approval. Stoicism calls for inner strength. Marcus Aurelius would say to stay true to your values, unmoved by negativity. You don't need to argue, just focus on your path. Save your energy for those who inspire, not undermine. This isn't about shutting out feedback. It's about choosing what fuels your growth. Join us for the next segment as we reveal more types to watch for. And let's keep building a life of clarity together. 5. The Flatterer. Now, let's turn to our 6th segment, where we expose a subtle but tricky type of person, the Flatterer. These folks have a knack for making you feel like a star, showering you with praise that lifts your spirits. Their compliments flow effortlessly, perfectly timed to make you feel valued. But over time, you sense something off their words, feel hollow, always tied to a favor or agenda. Flatterers are smooth operators. They know just what to say to win you over. Their admiration lighting up your day. At first, it's thrilling to be seen so positively, but soon, you notice their praise comes with strings attached. They butter you up right before asking for help or when they need your loyalty. It's not genuine appreciation, it's a calculated move to keep you hooked. I once heard about a young artist who crossed paths with a flatterer in the industry. This mentor figure was quick to praise her work, calling her a rising talent with endless potential. She felt invincible, inspired by his words. But then she noticed a pattern. His compliments always preceded requests for introductions, collaborations, or favors. When she hesitated, his warmth faded. Revealing his praise was never about her talent, but about what she could do for him. What drives a flatterer? It's not always malice, but a need for influence. They understand that flattery is a powerful tool, tapping into our desire to feel valued. By stroking your ego, they gain your trust, nudging you to act in their favor. If you're not careful, you might start chasing their approval, bending your choices to keep their compliments coming. Stoic philosophy helps us see through this trap. Marcus Aurelius advised us to accept praise without arrogance and let it go without clinging. Your worth doesn't depend on someone else's words, but on your own integrity. Flatterers cloud your judgment, making it hard to see truth clearly. By staying grounded, you can spot their tactics and keep your focus on what matters. How do you spot a flatterer? Look for patterns. Is their praise overly frequent? Lacking depth? Does it always seem to lead to a request? These are red flags. To protect yourself, practice detachment. Enjoy compliments, but don't let them sway your decisions. Share your trust with those who offer honest feedback, not just sweet words. Stoicism teaches us to value clarity over fleeting validation. This isn't about rejecting kindness, it's about discernment. A flatterer's words may sparkle, but they're empty without sincerity. As Epictetus might urge, stay true to your principles, unmoved by shallow charm. By choosing authenticity over flattery, You build a life rooted in real connections, not manipulative games. Keep walking this path with us as we uncover more types to watch for. And let's grow stronger together. 6. The Judgmental. Welcome to our 9th segment, where we focus on a type of person to handle with care, the judgmental. These individuals view the world through a rigid lens, quick to pass verdicts on others' choices, actions, or worth. They act like life's judges, their opinions delivered with a sharp edge that stifles connection. Their critiques aren't about understanding, they're about asserting their own sense of superiority. Judgmental people don't just observe, they condemn. Share a story or idea, and they'll dissect it, pointing out flaws as if they hold the ultimate truth. Their words can make you feel small, like you're on trial for being yourself. It's not about helping you grow, it's about keeping you in line with their narrow view of how things should be. Over time, their constant scrutiny can sap your confidence, making you second-guess your every move. I saw this at a community event where people shared personal journeys. One speaker opened up about overcoming hardship, her voice full of courage, but a man in the audience cut in, criticizing her past choices with a smug tone. He didn't ask questions or show empathy, he just judged. As if his perspective was the only one that mattered, the room's warmth faded, replaced by a chill of disconnection. His words didn't inspire, they silenced. What drives this behavior? Often, it's a need to feel above others. Judgmental people cling to their standards to mask their own insecurities, using criticism to prop themselves up. They're not interested in dialogue, they want to be right. But their harshness reveals more about their inner struggles than about the people they target. Stoic philosophy offers a way to rise above this. Marcus Aurelius urged us to focus on our own flaws before judging others, reminding us that no one is perfect. We can't control their opinions, but we can control how we let them affect us. Your worth isn't defined by their gavel, it's rooted in your own character and actions. How do you spot the judgmental? Notice their tone. Are they quick to label or dismiss without listening? Do their words shut down conversation rather than invite it? These are red flags. To protect yourself, stay grounded. Hear their views, but don't let them define you. Share your truth with those who value openness, not those who wield judgment like a weapon. This isn't about ignoring feedback, it's about discernment. As Epictetus might say, let others' opinion pass like clouds, but keep your focus on your own path. By choosing humility over ego, you create space for real connection, not one-sided verdicts. The judgmental may try to box you in, but you have the power to stay free, living authentically without their approval. We're wrapping up our exploration of these 9 types, but the journey doesn't end here. Join us for the conclusion, where we'll tie it all together with Stoic wisdom to help you protect your peace and build a life surrounded by those who truly deserve your trust. Let's keep growing stronger together. 7. The Narcissist. Welcome to our 5th segment, where we uncover a type of person you should approach with caution, the narcissist. These individuals dazzle at first, sweeping you up with their confidence and charm. They make you feel special, like you're the only one in the room. But soon, you notice a shift. Their warmth fades when you need them to care as much as you do. Their world revolves around one star themselves. Narcissists are magnetic, drawing you in with smooth words and grand gestures, They seem to get you, mirroring your emotions with uncanny precision. But it's all a performance. Their attention isn't about you, it's about how you feed their ego. The moment you stop being their audience or need real support, they turn cold, leaving you feeling like a prop in their show. I knew someone who fell for a narcissist's spell. She was drawn to his larger-than-life energy. The way he made every moment feel epic. He'd shower her with praise, but only when it suited him, when she faced a tough time, needing his empathy. He brushed her off, redirecting every conversation back to his own achievements. She felt drained, her own light dimming as she tried to keep up with his endless need for admiration. What fuels this behavior? Narcissists crave validation to prop up their fragile self-image. They collect people like trophies, not to cherish, but to showcase their own greatness. Your successes threaten them. Your needs inconvenience them. And your emotions are just background noise. Over time, their presence doesn't just tire you, it hollows you out, making you feel like a shadow of yourself. Stoic philosophy offers a lifeline here. Epictetus taught that our worth comes from within, not from others' approval. With a narcissist, you can't earn their care by giving more. They'll only take until you're empty. Instead, anchor yourself in your own values. Recognize their game for what it is, a hunger for control, not connection, and refuse to play along. Spotting a narcissist means watching for clues. Do they dominate conversations, always steering them back to themselves? Do they dismiss your feelings or twist your successes to highlight their own? These are signs of their self-absorption. To protect yourself, see it firm boundaries. Don't pour your heart into someone who sees it as fuel for their ego. Share your vulnerabilities with those who value you as an equal. This isn't about resentment, it's about clarity. Marcus Aurelius would remind us to stay steady, unmoved by those who demand our worship. Walking away from a narcissist isn't defeat, it's freedom. You reclaim your strength by choosing relationships that lift both sides, not just one. By grounding yourself in Stoic wisdom, you build a life where your peace shines, untouched by those who only see themselves. Join us for the next segment as we reveal more types to watch out for. And let's keep forging a path of resilience together. 8. The victim. Here we are at our 8th segment, shining a spotlight on a type of person to approach with caution: the victim. These individuals seem to carry the weight of the world, always caught in a cycle of misfortune. Every story they tell paints them as powerless, wronged by fate, people, or circumstances. At first, their struggles tug at your heart, urging you to offer support, but over time, their constant complaints drain you, pulling you into their endless loop of despair. Victims don't just share hardships, they wear them like a badge. No matter the situation, they find a way to be the one who's suffered most, suggest a solution, and they'll counter with why it won't work, offer encouragement, and they'll cling tighter to their woes. It's as if their identity is tied to being helpless, and any step toward change feels like a threat. You want to help, but their refusal to move forward leaves you feeling heavy, even powerless yourself. I once knew someone like this in a volunteer group. She'd recount the same tales of betrayal and bad luck, her voice heavy with resignation. At first, we rallied around her, offering ideas and support. But every suggestion was met with a sigh, and a reason it couldn't happen. It wasn't just exhausting, it made us question our own ability to make a difference. Her victimhood wasn't just her burden, it spread to those who cared. What drives this mindset? Often, it's a way to avoid responsibility. Blaming others or fate is easier than facing the discomfort of change. Victims sidestep accountability, choosing the familiarity of suffering over the risk of growth. But this doesn't just hold them back, it affects everyone around them, sapping energy from those who try to lift them up. Stoic philosophy cuts through this fog. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we have power over our minds, not external events. We can't control life's challenges, but we can choose how to respond. Victims reject this, placing their strength outside themselves. Stoicism urges us to stay grounded, offering compassion without sacrificing our own peace. You can care, but you can't carry someone who won't walk. How do you spot a victim? Listen for patterns. Do they always frame themselves as powerless? Do conversations circle back to their struggles, dismissing solutions? These are signs to protect yourself. Set boundaries. Offer support. But don't let their hopelessness seep into your spirit. Share your energy with those who seek growth, not just sympathy. This isn't about turning away from those in pain. It's about preserving your strength. As Epictetus might say, focus on your own path, steering clear of those who cling to suffering. By choosing clarity over chaos, you build a life rooted in resilience, not resignation. Stay with us for the next segment as we uncover more types to watch for. And let's keep forging a path of wisdom and strength together. 9. The Envious. Let's dive into our 7th segment, where we spotlight a type of person to approach with care: the envious. These individuals hide their resentment behind polite smiles, but their unease surfaces when you shine. Your successes, big or small, seem to stir something in them. Not joy, but a quiet discomfort that leaves you feeling uneasy. Their support feels forced, their words tinged with a subtle edge. Envious people are hard to spot at first. They might cheer you on, but their praise carries a twist, a backhanded compliment, or a quick shift to their own story. When you share good news, their smiles don't reach their eyes, and their congratulations feel lukewarm. It's not what they say, but how you feel afterward. Like your light somehow dims in their presence. Over time, you might hesitate to share your wins, sensing their hidden bitterness. I knew someone who experienced this with a close colleague. When she landed a big project, he'd nod and say, "That's great," but then add, "I could have done that if I had the time." His words weren't outright hostile, but they stung, making her question her achievement. It wasn't about her success, it was about his struggle to feel enough. That's the envious mindset. Your growth feels like their loss. What fuels envy? It's often rooted in insecurity. Envious people measure their worth by comparing themselves to others. Your progress highlights their doubts. And instead of facing those feelings, they project them onto you. They don't lash out boldly. They undermine quietly, with subtle digs or passive remarks. It's a slow poison that can erode your confidence if you let it take hold. Stoic philosophy offers a way to rise above this. Marcus Aurelius taught us to stay anchored in our purpose, unmoved by others' reactions. Your value isn't tied to their approval, but to your own integrity. Envy isn't your problem to fix. It's their battle. By recognizing it for what it is, you can protect your peace without getting drawn into their inner turmoil. How do you spot the envious? Pay attention to how they react to your highs. Do they redirect attention to themselves? Do their words leave you doubting your worth? These are clues. To shield yourself, be selective about what you share. Save your joys for those who celebrate them fully. Stoicism calls us to focus on what we control: our actions, our mindset, and let go of others' resentment. This isn't about pushing people away. It's about guarding your spirit. As Epictetus might say, let your success speak quietly, rooted in authenticity. Don't let someone's silent envy dim the light you've worked hard to ignite. Choose connections that uplift, not undermine, and keep your focus on your path. Join us for the next segment as we reveal more types to watch for. And let's keep building a life of clarity and strength together. We've uncovered 9 types of people who can dim your light, but you're not powerless. Stoic wisdom teaches us to guard our peace, choosing who we let close with care. These lessons aren't just about spotting harm, they're about valuing your worth. Set boundaries, hold your values tight, and surround yourself with those who lift you up. Life's too precious to share with those who drain it. Drop a comment with your thoughts. Your story could spark hope. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's keep building a life of strength and clarity together. Until next time, stay true, stay strong,